Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a concept that gets right to the heart of why certain people just naturally command the spotlight. You know what I mean, right? Have you ever noticed someone walk into a room and instantly captivate everyone's attention, even if they're literally just holding a cup of coffee and not doing anything at all? Well, we're going to figure out exactly why that happens by looking at a totally fascinating intersection of astrological framework and deep human psychology, decoding the sun in the fifth house and the power of authentic expression.
So I want to ask you a question right out of the gate. What truly draws our attention to someone? We usually think it's, I don't know, their authority, their wealth, maybe their social status, but the source material we're exploring today completely flips that assumption on its head. The absolute greatest magnetic pull a person can have, it rarely comes from those external markers. Instead, it's about the courage to reveal your talents without apology. It's this core courage to just be seen fully and authentically that makes someone truly unforgettable. Okay. Let's get into section 1, decoding the fifth house and the sun.
So, to understand how this all works, we've got to look at the fifth house. In the system of Vedic astrology, the fifth house is a really specific sphere of human experience. It represents our personal joy, our intelligence, and our creative abilities. But it's actually more than just having those abilities. This is the realm of performance. It's the exact place where our inner gifts basically demand visibility in the outer world. Think of it as the stage upon which our most authentic self just wants to dance, create, and be recognized. And what's super fascinating here is the definition of the sun itself. In this framework, it isn't just, a star in the sky. It is the ultimate force of identity and vitality. We're talking about your core confidence, your sense of purpose, and this undeniable desire to shine. So you can kind of start to imagine what happens when you take the planet of ultimate radiant confidence and drop it directly into the house of creativity and performance. Okay, let's dive into this. When the sun meets the fifth house, something incredibly dynamic occurs. Creative energy here doesn't just exist quietly in the background. It naturally seeks visibility. People with this dynamic, they don't sit around waiting for someone to hand them a microphone or give them permission to be themselves. Their unpermissioned individuality actually becomes their greatest strength. Recognition naturally follows their authentic self-expression, and they just attract admiration simply through their pure, unfiltered confidence.
Moving on to section 2, everyday stages and performers.
Right, so what does this actually look like in the real world? Because it's a huge misconception that performance only applies to actors on a stage or musicians in a packed stadium. This placement manifests as a teacher bringing a completely boring subject to vivid life for their students. It's a business owner whose pure passion inspires their employees to go way above and beyond. It's a local leader guiding their community through a crisis with absolute unshakable resolve. The common thread here is visibility through authentic expression. It's literally just everyday people transforming their daily lives into a stage for their unique gifts. There's this really profound thought from our source material. The greatest artists rarely begin by chasing applause. They begin by expressing something true. Let that sink in for a second. That right there is the true secret to lasting influence. It is not about the calculated pursuit of fame. It's about an absolutely undeniable commitment to authenticity. Which brings us to section 3, the ego and the applause. Now, of course, every powerful dynamic carries a warning label, and we really have to draw a stark contrast here. On one side, we have authentic expression. This is where recognition is merely a byproduct, a consequence of you living your true purpose. But on the other side, we have attention seeking, and this is the dangerous trap. This is when that perfectly healthy desire to create quietly morphs into a desperate dependence on applause. When your identity is built entirely on external validation, it becomes incredibly fragile because even the brightest light still needs inner stability for when the external attention inevitably fades away. And this dichotomy is perfectly framed as a strong versus an afflicted sun. A genuine, inspiring presence, a strong sun, is generous. It has this healthy confidence and true leadership. But an afflicted sun, it masks deep insecurity. It creates ego struggles, a terrifying fear of criticism, and this constant, exhausting need to be the center of attention just to feel okay. The desire to shine is still there, sure, but without emotional balance, it becomes forced and draining rather than truly magnetic. All right, let's lift things back up and look at section 4, how zodiac signs shape expression. The absolutely crucial point here is how we actually channel this energy, because this creative courage doesn't look the same for everyone. It's like a giant puzzle. If this energy is filtered through fire signs, it shows up as bold, fiery originality. In earth signs, that desire to create results in practical, lasting, tangible work. Air signs, well, they'll express this by communicating brilliant ideas that inspire collective thinking, while water signs bring incredible emotional depth and healing through their imagination. And it's not just the signs. Other planets alter the mix too. Saturn adds necessary discipline to the creativity, while Jupiter expands the wisdom of the message. So it's really a highly customized blueprint for exactly how you are meant to shine.
And finally, Section 5, the legacy of authentic creation. As we pull back and look at the bigger picture, psychology offers a perspective that perfectly mirrors this astrological framework. Human beings are just naturally wired to admire those who confidently express their authentic abilities. But honestly, here is the most beautiful part of this whole thing. True influence spreads way beyond the performance itself. When you confidently share your gifts, you actually give the audience silent permission to do the exact same thing. Your courage literally awakens the hidden confidence inside everyone watching you. Which brings us to a really profound truth derived from our source material. Creation is one of the highest expressions of human purpose. And listen, creativity is not just limited to a painting on a wall. It is every meaningful solution you offer, every compassionate idea you share, and every innovative business you build. Hiding your gifts serves neither yourself nor the world that is frankly waiting to receive them. The genuine contributions you make, those are the things that will outlast any fading applause. So I want to leave you with this final thought to really reflect on today. Are you expressing yourself boldly enough? The world rarely celebrates hidden gifts. It remembers those who courageously transform their inner light into something the rest of us can see, feel, and carry forward. So step onto your stage, whatever that may be, and let yourself be seen. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.